Okay, back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Tuesday. So I'm making this video on Monday night, and I haven't done a lineup review. So I've done, if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know every video at the beginning I do a lineup review. But I kind of withheld that for the last week or so just to kind of see if you guys liked it more when I did the lineup review or if I just got straight into the analysis. So I'll leave it in the comment section down below, or let me know on Twitter if you guys like this lineup review portion where I just go over my lineup from the night before and kind of talk about it for a few minutes. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. So this is my lineup right now. Looking really good. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's really important to do so. I tweeted out Napier, Karooks, as well as Fareed are great value plays. Just Brooklyn was too short-handed. Then one with Harden as a spend up at Capella. So all those centers that I really liked. Jokic did very well. Capella did really well. And then right now we got Vucevic, who I got in the first quarter, put up 19 fantasy points. The only downer here was Millsap. I got Mike Malone to only play 22 minutes. Like, come on, Mike Malone. That could hold me back from a huge night. Then I got Bogdan as well. So that's kind of my final lineup. So hopefully ends up being a pretty big night. Let's look into the lineup, or let's look into the slate for tonight. Okay, let's see here. Where's NBA? Okay, so we actually got a pretty nice 8-game slate on Tuesday. Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays are pretty small slates, but we got a pretty nice slate for today. So let's get right into the analysis. So Westbrook here, 11.2. He's starting to pick up. He's starting to play a little better here. He went on a kind of stretch of just shooting the ball pretty poorly. I mean, still, he's never really going to be at that efficient shooting, but last couple games has scored the ball relatively well. And any single time Westbrook takes the court, he has upside. I think he's priced about right at 11K. And you got Steph Curry. So this whole New York Golden State game is GPP only for me. If the Knicks keep it close, it's going to be because a couple of big games from a couple of guys, and then you could target a couple of Golden State guys, but it's very risky. A lot of blow up potential, so I would not target anyone in this game in cash games. Kind of the same feeling here for Philly. It's at Philadelphia. Washington kind of depleted. If the Wizards can keep it close, I think Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, and Embiid, a couple of them are going to have huge games. And if Washington keeps it close, it's going to be because of like Brad Beal. So I think that game, also GPP is probably only for me. A little risky for cash games. And you got the Charlotte and the Clippers game, which I really like. Kemba, priced down to 8.8K. Just in a very good match against the Clippers. We're still waiting for news on Jeremy Lamb. If he misses, you could look to a couple of these Charlotte Valley guys, so I'll get to in a second. Then you got Devin Booker, also pretty big news day to day. If he misses, that would be huge. It would open up a lot for a couple of the Phoenix Suns guys. If he plays, I would like him a lot. I really like this Phoenix-Sacramento game as well as this Charlotte and the Clippers game. I think both those games are probably the most stackable games. And then the Washington, Philly, the New York, Golden State are definitely still stackable, but they're a little more risky because they have some blowout risk there. Oladipo at 8.4. He's kind of been up and down, so I don't think you do it for cash, but GPPs, yes, he does have huge upside. Then Fox, I really like Fox today at 7.2. I like this game a lot. The Kings and the Suns should both bad teams don't play a whole lot of defense, up tempo pace. So I like Fox a lot. And Lou Williams here, starting to see more consistent minutes. He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. A pretty good matchup against the Hornets. So I like Lou Will. I know he's priced for 6.8K, but I still think it's doable, Lou Williams. Let's see, Teague. So he's priced up now to 6.5K, but back-to-back really big games here for Teague, and only 28 and 29 minutes. If the game stays close, you should play 30-plus minutes. So I think Teague, definitely a pretty solid play here with no D-Rose at 6.5K. Moutier, so a couple of these next guys, if they're going to keep it close, soon because Moutier, Kevin Knox, Hardaway, Vonleh, Cantor. I think like any one of those five, I think a couple of those guys would have to have huge games. So I think some of those next guys are doable in GPPs. Let's see. So Collison's list is questionable. If he ends up missing, that could open up minutes for Corey Joseph, as well as Aaron Holiday. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news on that. Let's see. So McConnell, I like him when there's a couple guys for Philly out, but looks like everyone is going to be healthy for Philly. So I think McConnell's still okay. And then you got the Charlotte guys. So a couple of these Charlotte guards. It's just the rotations are always so inconsistent for the Charlotte guards. But with Lamb's misses, you could look to Batum, Devontae Graham, Tony Parker, Malik Monk. Those 4 value plays I think would be pretty solid if Jeremy Lamb does miss. Okay, let's move on to, well, I guess one last guy I'll talk about here is Jamal Crawford, wherever he is. Where's Jamal Crawford? You could play him. I think he's definitely playable if Devin Booker's out there at 3.8K. Okay, let's move on to shooting guard. So Beal, again, Beal, Steph Curry, I think GPPs only. Beal, if the Wizards are going to keep it close to him because a huge game of Beal, he's a little underpriced here at 8.9K. So I think he is a great GPP play. Let's see, Buddy Hield. I do like him. I like this game a lot, but it's the same thing every single time here for the past couple weeks. I'm going to take the discount on Bogdan here at 5.9 over Buddy. So that's going to lower Buddy's ownership for sure. He's definitely going to be lower owned. So you want to take that aspect of in GPPs. You could. And Hardaway, again, if the Knicks would keep it close, it's going to be because of a big game from a couple of those guys. They're all like underpriced, those Knicks. So I think you could take a shot on a couple of those guys in GPPs. Let's see. So Gary Harris, again, this seems a little underpriced. Miami, pretty solid defensive team, but if he's starting, he's going to play 30-plus minutes, 5.4K. He just seems too cheap, so I think he's a pretty solid cash game play. Let's see, Okogie. I think Covington's going to be out again. Let me double check here. Yeah, Covington's out again, so you could look to Okogie again. He's going to pick up a start at small forward. 4.3K. Should play 30-plus minutes. Not the highest usage guy, but I think he's doable for salary relief. And then Tyreek again. I think you could look to him if Darren Collison misses. I think Tyreek would be a pretty solid GPP there at 3.6K. All right, let's move on to the small forward position. Paul George continues to go under-owned every single slate. No Robert Covington out there, so that boosts the appeal of Paul George. The price is up to 10.3K now, though, so I think he's priced about right. But I think he still is playable. Durant, I'm staying away in cash games, but GPPs, like I said, if the Knicks somehow keep it close, a couple of these Warriors are going to have huge games. So I think you could look their way in GPPs. Kawhi, so this also has blowout risk for Toronto. Toronto's pretty deep when they're healthy. It is a dream matchup against Atlanta. I just don't see the Hawks keeping it close. Again, this game kind of only GPPs for me. And Tobias, I like this Hornets and the Clippers game a lot. 7.6K, still seems a little underpriced. So I do like Tobias. Same thing with Gallinari here. But I think I would rather pay the extra couple hundred for Tobias and Gallinari, but Gallinari is still definitely doable. TJ Warren, the price has come up. I would like him a lot if Devin Booker misses, so we're going to have to kind of wait for news with that. Let's see. So Kevin, again, you could take a shot on a couple of these Knicks and GPPs. Golden State, they score a lot, but they don't play a whole lot of defense, kind of up-tempo, so I think a couple of those Knicks could have big games. Let's see. Bielitsa, I'm just staying away from now that Marvin Bagley's back. If it is a back-to-back, though, so maybe they sit Marvin Bagley on the second half of back-to-back. So that would make Bielitsa definitely playable here at 5.3K if Bagley's out. So Josh Jackson, I would look to if Devin Booker misses. You could look to Josh Jackson. That would boost, TJ Warren, like I said. It would boost DeAndre Ayton a lot. And then you could look to a couple of these value guys like Josh Jackson, as well as there's Kelly Oubre. at 3.9. You looked at him possibly, and even Jamal Crawford. So I think those guys would be in play if Devin Booker doesn't miss. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. So like a couple of these Wizards, again, they're kind of risky because I think Washington could get blown out, but if they keep it close, it's gonna be, like I said, I think it's gonna be because of a big game from Beal, and then you can look to Ariza, as well as Jeff Green right now, as well as Otto Porter even. A lot of these guys are gonna play all the minutes they can handle. So I think that game is definitely stackable. In 24 minutes, Otto Porter put up 42 fantasy points. So I think that is a stackable game. I'm just a little concerned that Philly does run Washington off the court. Power forward, let's see, Sabonis. You guys know I love playing Sabonis. I would love him if Miles Turner does miss. Would pick up a start, play 30 plus minutes, and then if Miles Turner misses, you could also look to Kyle Quinn as a solid value play. So I would like Sabonis and Kyle Quinn a lot if Miles Turner does miss. So Draymond again, it's just can the Knicks keep it close? I think that game's only GPPs for me. John Collins, I know the matchup's not the best, but 6.9K seems way too cheap for John Collins. So I think John Collins is a pretty solid play there. These Raptors, again, with everyone healthy, it's a little risky. Like John Collins, the reason I like him is he's basically blowout proof. He's young. He's going to get minutes no matter what. But a couple of these Raptors, if it's a blowout, they're not going to play in the fourth quarter. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. Montrez, so he's kind of, the price came down. He's kind of been limited last few games, but those are three big teams. You had Embiid with Philly, you had Ayton with Phoenix, and you had Vucevic with Orlando. This is more of a small ball team with Charlotte. They like running small ball, so I think this is a Montrez game. So I think Montrez is a pretty solid play here at 6.2. Noah Vonleh, again, those Knicks, Moutier, Hardaway, Knox, Vonleh, Cantor would be the five guys that I have in my player pool for the Knicks in GPPs. Let's see. Millsap, again, like I said, I played him tonight. Got limited to 22 minutes, but should play close to 30 minutes in a close game. 5.8K, the price has come up a little bit, but I still think he's a pretty solid value play. Let's see, as far as any of these really, again, O'Quinn, I would like a lot if Miles Turner does miss. He would play kind of the backup 5 minutes. On Holmes here, 3.5K. Back to playing, his normal, 16 to 20 or so minutes. 3.5K is just too cheap and a great matchup, so I do like Holmes as a value play there. And then center, again, the same thing, Embiid. If the Wizards can keep it close, I think Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, a couple of guys are going to have huge games because Washington doesn't play a whole lot of defense. Towns, I think I'm going to stay away from Towns. The prices come all the way up, and I do respect the defense of Steven Adams, so I'm probably not going to go Karl-Anthony Towns' way. Jokic, I loved him last night. Like him again today. Whiteside, not the best defender, so I think Jokic might go kind of under-owned, so I do like him. I really like Ayton today, especially if Devin Booker misses. Would just boost the usage even more. So I would like Ayton a lot if Devin Booker doesn't miss. Steven Adams, I think, is definitely doable. They're going to need him to play all the minutes he can handle against Karl-Anthony Towns. So I think Steven Adams is a pretty solid play there at 7K. Whiteside, it's just so boomer bust with this guy, so only GPPs. Denver does run big, so I think Whiteside, you could take a shot on him in GPPs. The price looks pretty appealing there at 6.6K. Willie Cauley-Stein, again, I want to try to get a lot of exposure to this Kings and the Suns game, so I like Willie Cauley-Stein a lot here at 6.3K. Let's see. So Tristan Thompson, he's been involved in a few blowouts here, but the game stays close. He should play 30-plus minutes, so I think Tristan Thompson is doable at 5.9. Cantor, he hates Golden State. He's GPP only play for me, so I think you could take a shot on a few of those Knicks in GPPs. Let's see, Gortat, way too priced up now. So Biyombo, as well as Hernan Gomez, are going to split the center minutes, basically. The concern is the Clippers like running small ball too, so Biyombo maybe gets limited a bit at 4.5K, but I still think is doable. Again, my concern is the Clippers do like running small ball. Hernan Gomez, same kind of concern. They should split the center minutes, but maybe they run some, Marvin Williams at the 5. So that is my concern with Hernan Gomez and Biyombo. Alex Len, been playing pretty solid off the bench here. Should play right around 20 minutes. 4.4K seems a little too cheap. So I think you could take a shot at Alex Len there. If the game blows out, I think he would see a little extra run, which I do think it will. So that just kind of boosts the appeal of Alex Len a little more. Looney at 4K. Should play right like 20 to 25 minutes. Knicks don't play a whole lot of defense. So I think Looney, pretty solid play. Lastly, Greg Monroe. I think you can take a shot on a couple of these Toronto guys off the bench. Atlanta does like running big anyway, so Monroe I think should play 15 or so minutes no matter what, and if a blowout, maybe he plays a little more. He is kind of older though, so maybe in the blowout they go to like Boucher or something. So I don't know. I think you could take a shot on Monroe is what I'm saying. And yeah, I think that's about it. Giles, so it was interesting. He was the first big off the bench last couple games, but tonight actually, or last night technically, it was Kufis. So it's kind of, that's really risky for Giles. You don't know if he's going to see the rotation or not. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So yeah, a couple of these games I really do like. The Suns, Kings, as well as Charlotte and the Clippers. And then this Knicks Golden State game, as well as this Washington Philly game, are two games I do like a lot too, but those are more risky because there is some blowout risk. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts with that. I would try to get as much exposure to those games as possible and then kind of go from there. So if you guys have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I will give my thoughts and more news comes out throughout the day. And yeah, definitely important to follow me on Twitter, guys. And yeah, also let me know in the comments if you like the lineup review part that I did in today's video. I kind of withheld it for the last, 5 or 6 videos, something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And I will be back for another slate on Wednesday, so I'll see you guys then.